What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar and welcome back to the PGL. Now this is going to be the team builder for week 2 of the PGL. We are coming off of an amazing win week 1 and I'm really hoping that I'll be able to keep this hope alive of winning this game. However, I am playing against a team that is extremely weird, like 50 shades of weird. Like 50 shades of fucked up. Like it's such a weird team. It's gonna take a couple minutes for me to even describe this team. I am playing Iyokuu and the Blackthorn Frogadiers. Now, let's just take a look at his team and I'll tell you why it's weird. So, he has Megalop, Garchomp, Aegislash, Shaman, Slowking, Armaldo, Electros, Granbull, Empoleon, Gliscor, Simisear, and Gothitelle. So, the instant thing I noticed about his team, he has a lot of common weaknesses. And by a lot, I mean something that I can exploit with a couple of mons on my team. For example, Garchomp, Shaman, and Gliscor are all weak to Ice, while Aegislash, Slowking, and Gothitelle are all weak to Dark. So half of his team is weak to Dark and Ice coverage. Then you look at Megalop and you look at Empoleon, weak to fighting. Those are 3 very common types that are coverage moves on mons that I have drafted, so that is extremely cool. He also has a good, I don't want to say a good amount. He has a couple of 4 times weaknesses that are pretty important, and they're both ice type weaknesses in Garchomp and Gliscor. So I had to keep that in mind when I was team building. Another thing when you look at his team is you look at his speed tiers, and they're just crazy against my team. So he has Megalop at 130 or 135 or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then I think his next fastest thing is either Garchomp or Simisear, and then Slowking. So he has a very, 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 very large gap of speed. And that's pretty important for a couple different reasons. That means that I'm able to run a lot of bulk in my faster mons that I want to outspeed things, which is really cool. And if I can't outspeed something, I have absolutely no need to run any speed except for the things that I want to outspeed on his wall side. He does have some pretty fast walls. However, uninvested, my mons that I don't really need to run speed in, outspeed them naturally. So even then, minimal speed is it's just what is going to be good against his team. So when I was looking at his team, there are a couple things that really stand out to me on his team. First is the Aegislash. Very, very scary. One of the top threats in League format, in my opinion. I think it's almost too good. Like, since we are all allowed in S rank, I think it's like decent here, but in the PPL, I think it'd be too good. So I'm really scared of that. Megalop, my favorite mon in the format, the best Mega in my opinion in the format. He has Garchomp, which he has been proven to be very unexpected in team building with it. He's like I remember I had a OU battle with him and I thought that it was a tank chomp, and it just turned out to be banded and just straight up destroyed something turn 1. So there was that. And then the next thing that is extremely, extremely, extremely scary in team building is Gothitelle. There are a couple other hidden threats in there like Shaman. I have to make sure I can deal with that. However, I feel as though I can deal with that more defensively and be fine because it can't break through certain walls on my team that I plan on bringing, and that's kind of sort of important. Another thing that I noticed that I know is going to be in this game are Stealth Rocks. I know for a fact he's going to get up rocks against me. He has Garchomp, an amazing Stealth Rock setter. He has Empoleon, an amazing Stealth Rock setter. And then he has Gliscor, an amazing Stealth Rock setter. So rocks are going to be on my side of the field. I just come to accept it. I've built around that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team that I made. Now, I kind of wanted to start off with something that is going to be my dedicated lead no matter what. So my dedicated lead for this game is something that can threaten out every single one of his potential leads. Now, his potential leads, in my opinion, are either going to be Garchomp, if it's Tank Chomp with rocks, or even if it's like Choice Scarf with rocks. It's going to be, it could be a lead. Not going to, could be. Empoleon could be a lead to get up rocks, to get up a Scald Burn on something, to just be a generally good lead. Gliscor could be another lead that I'm thinking of in this, and I wanted to make sure I countered those three with this specifically. Megalop is also a very significant like offensive lead that he could go for, and it could be extremely threatening, but I'll get onto that after I talk about this mon. The first mon I'm bringing is Life Support, Floatzel. Now, this mon is very important. So, 156 in speed allows me to outspeed max speed Garchomp. Since I'm only having to run 156 speed EVs, I have a lot to invest in bulk. So I have 96 defense EVs. Believe it or not, the rolls on like powers on his team, if I throw it in defense, is actually better than if I throw it in HP for all around bulk. So that's what I did there. Max attack with 4 in special defense. Now, I'm running very specific moves. Aqua Jet. I plan on getting a lot of chip damage off of Megalop pretty easily, honestly. So Aqua Jet's going to be there. It picks it off at about 40%. So if I can get off some chip damage on it, easy takeout. Low Kick. Easy 2-hit KO on Empoleon. Easy 2-hit KO on Empoleon. Ice Punch. Easy 2-hit KO on both Garchomp and Gliscor. Very easy. Also a very easy 2-hit KO on Shaman. So I'm able to hit everything super hard. Crunch is there specifically to 2-hit KO Gothitelle. It can 2-hit KO, I'm pretty sure, the calc I ran was it can 2-hit KO a physically defensive Gothitelle. If that's the case, Gothitelle cannot trap me, cannot take me out. I will take it out before it takes me out, especially if it's a switch into me. So that's extremely important. Crunch is also there mainly for Slowking. It does a lot to Slowking. If he's like AV or something and like max special attack, it does an absolute metric butt ton to it. It does about 60%. It is insane. This thing hits his entire team extremely hard. Aqua Jet is also there because Semi-Seer is actually a massive threat to my team. I could seriously see him bringing it, especially if he's mixed with like Gunk Shot and Fire Blast to hit like my Sylveon, and then you could even like I'm pretty sure it gets Grass Knot. You could use that for Vaporeon, even though it won't do a whole lot. It'll also be able to hit it super effectively, and that's important. So he could bring Semi-Seer. Having that is going to instantly make it less of a threat, and that is important. The one thing about this set, though, is that it does not help me whatsoever against a lead Lopunny, and if I lead this off against his Empoleon and I go for a low kick and do about 65%, I know his Empoleon is about specially to become like completely specially defensive, and then he can go into his Granbull. Granbull is also a very prominent threat that he could be bringing into this. I cannot touch it, and then I have to find a switch into it, and that's a little bit more difficult for my team, even with the team I built, so I'm kind of just going to have to take whatever Granbull does for me and hope that I can recover off the damage. Crunch also hits Aegislash very hard, however, I have to be careful. If it is weakness policy, it could screw me. Could 110% screw my entire game up. So I do not want to spam Crunch against Aegislash until I know what its item is, until I know if it's Life Orb, Leftovers, or Weakness Policy. Or Culver Berry. I could definitely see Culver Berry too with the amount of dark moves I have on my team. Like, I have Crunch on this, I have a Mega Bayonet, I have a Darkrai, I have a Hydreigon, I have a Rotom that can carry Dark Pulse. I have a lot of things on this team that can carry Dark coverage, so it just makes sense for him to pack Culver Berry. This is very important as a lead. It'll get a big hit off right away. It allows him no switch-ins to anything, and that is important, and that's what I'm hoping that this thing will do. So another lead option that he could do is lead off with his Mega Lopunny to get off the safe Fake Out. As I said, Floatzel is my designated lead. If he leads off with his Mega Lopunny, I know for a fact he's going to go for Fake Out. There is not a doubt in my mind he is going to go for Fake Out. So I have a physically defensive Jirachi here with the Rocky Helmet with Body Slam, U-Turn, Iron Head, and Wish. Now, I'm running Body Slam for a couple different reasons. I could run something to hit the Aegislash, but I would rather run Body Slam, because if his switch into this is a Rocky Helmet Garchomp, I'm able to paralyze it, hopefully, and I'm able to U-turn on, I'm able to Wish, I'm able to Iron Head, and I'm able to play around it that way and get some really good chip damage off on it, and guarantee that I outspeed it with my Float Soul if he knows I'm Rocky Helmet and he goes into it and he's like Scarfed. I can guarantee outspeed it with my Float Soul, or I can guarantee wall it a little bit better with some of my walls. This thing is there mainly to get chip damage off on the Mega Lopunny. I can get off a lot of damage on it. A lot of damage on it. If he goes for a Fake Out on me, that's fine. I can live any 2 hits from it. Even after rocks, I can live any 2 hits. Get off a Body Slam on it. I can Iron Head on it. I can Wish Up on it. I can do anything I want to make sure that it gets Rocky Helmet damage on it and puts it in range of Aqua Jet from Float Soul. Or puts it in range from like a Hyper Voice from Sylveon, or a Choice Scarf Dark Pulse from my Dragon if I bring it. So this is very important. He also has a lot of physical attackers, and I really want to make sure that I can beat it 1v1. I have U-turn on it specifically so Gothitelle cannot trap me and set up on me once he sees that I'm Rocky Helmet. If he sets up on me with Calm Minds, I am screwed. So I want to U-turn on it right away, not let him have anything to do against me, and go right into a threat to scare out Gothitelle. That's my main plan. Hopefully, at least. Hopefully. This also, let me take it. There was one other thing this thing does pretty well. Oh, completely 110% scares out Granbull. That's where this thing is going to be coming in handy. If I can use this to scare out Granbull, I will be in a much better situation. I'll be able to get off an Iron Head or a U-turn on something else and get some good chip damage off on his team. So the next mon on his team that I knew I wanted, because Garchomp was looking like a massive threat, was a physically defensive Sylveon. I'm bringing a lot of bulk this game, a lot of bulk, but I'm bringing more like bulky offense, so that's kind of good. Wish, Hyper Voice, Protect, and Baton Pass. Baton Pass again, so I can switch out on the Gothitelle. This thing handles Garchomp pretty well. Even with Poison Jab, I can take it decently well and just completely destroy its entire life with Hyper Voice. I can actually live certain hits from Aegislash and go for Hyper Voice, and it does a surprising amount if he's offensive, so I'm not super worried about this thing in against Aegislash. I doubt it'll be in against Aegislash. Not my plan. So that's a hope there. I just have to watch out for Swords Dance, so it's just going to be weird playing around with Aegislash. If I let it get up a Swords Dance, I could be in trouble, but I'm going to try really hard not to. Another thing that I need to make sure I do not let Aegislash do is set up a Rock Polish. Rock Polish is almost scarier than Swords Dance, but I'll get into that later. This is made there just as a general wall. Hits his team fairly hard on his defensive side, aside from like Empoleon. Empoleon walls this thing so hard, and I have nothing I can do about it. And Slowking actually walls this thing pretty well, even though Hyper Voice is just very hard hitting. It still walls it pretty well, and that's pretty depressing. But this thing is just OW for his entire team. Like Electros, Gliscor, nothing really wants to take Hyper Voices too much from this thing. So these last 3 mons on the team, I'm a little bit more iffy on them than I should be, because I know that I know for a fact that they'll work, just because of the way that his team is structured and the way it'll go about beating mine. The first thing I want to talk about is probably the most gimmicky set, I guess you could say, is my Mega Bayonet. I'm bringing a sub-Pain Split Shadow Claw Shadow Sneak Mega Bayonet with enough speed after Mega Evolving to outspeed defensive Garchomp. That's important because if I can get it whittled down with like Iron Head or Rocky Helmet and Hyper Voice and things like that, I'm able to kill it with the Shadow Claw, and that's pretty important. First, let's just talk about what this thing can do. It can 2-hit KO Empoleon, it can 2-hit KO, let's just go down the list. It can 2-hit KO Aegislash, Shaman, Slowking, Armaldo, Electros. I cannot 2-hit KO Granbull after Intimidate, but I can Empoleon, Simisear, and Gothitelle. 2-hit KO all of them. His switch-ins are limited. So I'm completely walled. I cannot touch Megalop with this set. I realize that. However, he's not going to be leaving Megalop in on a Mega Bayonet. Like, if I send this thing in on Megalop and I'm already Mega Evolved, he is not going to leave it in because he does not want to get burnt. If I send this thing in against, say, Aegislash, an Adamant max attack Shadow Sneak completely one-shots this thing. So, I'm running Substitute. Because, once I Substitute, I'm going to outspeed him in priority for Shadow Sneak because I have Prankster. I will go first with Sub. I will get behind the Sub. He will Shadow Sneak. He'll be in Blade form. Once he is in Blade form, Shadow Sneak completely destroys it. Like, completely 110% utterly destroys it. Actually, let me get up the calc so I can give you an exact calc for it. Shadow Sneak has 91 to 108% minimum if he's max HP. So that does a lot of damage once he's in Blade form. So that forces him to either A, King Shield, B, go for another Shadow Sneak, or C, switch out. If he switches out, I'm going to sub on the second time no matter what. If I sub, I get another free hit off on something, whatever it is. If I get up and then something is going to be saying ow, and that is important. I could also Pain Split, whittle things down that way, and that is how I plan to get off a little bit of chip damage on Mega Lop with Mega Bayonet. If he knows that I can't touch it and I'm behind a sub, if I'm like below 50%, I'm able to Pain Split, get some damage off on it, and then work around it that way, hopefully get some more Rock Helmet on it, and then finish it off with Float Soul. But the main thing is to send this thing in on a physical attacker, scare it out with a Will-O-Wisp, because he knows that Will-O-Wisp will be ow for a lot of his team, especially things like Aegislash and Mega Lop and Gliscor, sub up, and then go ow to his team. That's the main hope with this thing. I think it'll work out pretty well, just because I know the way he will be thinking with Prankster Will-O-Wisp. He's like, I don't want anything to get Prankster Will-O-Wisp. Originally I had Thunderwave and a Will-O-Wisp on it over Substitute and Pain Split, and then I was like, wow, if I can get up a sub and I get 50% off on something, something is just going to say ow and die. So that was the whole hope behind this. I'm running a lot of speed on this because of Mega Bayonet's somewhat slow base speed and his fast walls, aka like Garchomp and Gliscor. So the next mon on the team is actually going to be Darkrai. For the first time it is appearing. I'm running 172 HP EVs, 252 in special attack, 76 in speed with a timid nature. Actually, I have 8 EVs that I need to put into 4 in each defense. I just now realized that. Good thing I haven't made the graphics yet. So I'm running timid. I don't need to run timid whatsoever. I can run modest. Yes, I realize this. However, I need 172 HP EVs to ensure that Mega Lop's high jump kick after Stealth Rock does not kill me with the Choppleberry. So that is the item I'm going to be carrying. I'm going to be carrying Choppleberry. I can guarantee live it, completely blow it back with Psychic. Now, here's the other thing it does for me. The Choppleberry is also very important if he's a Rock Polish Aegislash. If he's a Rock Polish Aegislash, I'm able to live a Sacred Sword and completely destroy its entire life with Dark Pulse. Like 110% utterly poop on it with Dark Pulse. I'm also able to outspeed Gliscor and Garchomp and go for an Ice Beam and completely blow them back. Sludge Bomb is there specifically to hit the thingy thing of things. The Grand Bull thingy thing. That thingy thing. Gonna hit that. He can live one if he knows I'm Life Orb, if he invests enough. He can live one, so I kind of want to whittle it down and figure out what set it is first, but it works. It's ow. And then I kind of wanted to run Focus Blast just to hit the Empoleon to make sure that I don't give it its Justified. Is it Justified or is it Defiant? I'm gonna have to double check this real quick. Okay, it's Defiant. Never mind. That statement is completely stupid. I thought it was Justified for a couple reasons, but I guess I just got it confused with like all the other weird hidden ability Justified users there are. But this thing is just ow for his entire team. I 2-hit KO Gothitelle. I 2-hit KO especially, or no, I don't 2-hit KO especially defensive Slowking, I think I 2-hit KO max HP Assault Vested Slowking. I think that's what it was. But I 2-hit KO a lot of his team. He has no safe switch-ins to it, so it's just going to be a fantastic late game cleanup mon. Now, as you notice, I'm not running Dark Void. That's because I had a couple practice games. Went for 6 Dark Voids. 6. Do you guys want to take a guess as to how many of them I hit? Go ahead, I'll let you think for a second. I hit none of them. 80% accuracy, my asshole. I'm never running Dark Void. That is complete and utter bullshit, and I'm so livid about it. So, I'm not running Dark Void. I'd rather run another coverage move. Anyway, moving on to the final mon of the team. This is going to be a massive win condition for my team for a couple different reasons. It takes out massive threats. It blows through his walls. It just does so much to his team, and that is Victini. I'm running a very, 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 very special set for Victini. I'm running a Kasib Berry. I will go into what that does in a minute if you do not know. With the moves U-Turn, V-Create, Bolt Strike, and Will-O-Wisp. 92 HP, 112 attack, 252 defense, 52 in speed. 52 in speed allows me to outspeed uninvested Garchomp with 32 speed EVs, so that's important. The 92 in HP, 252 in defense. Mega Lopunny, Adamant does not 2-hit KO me with return. After rocks, it does. However, if it's after rocks, I can live 1, go for V-Create, it's ow. Especially with the 112 attack Adamant. Still hurts a lot. That also, with the Kasib Berry, allows me to live a +2 Shadow Claw from Aegislash. So, the Kasib Berry makes Ghost type attacks weaken. What this does is if, say, he's Swords Dance, or say he's Weakness Policy, and I popped his Weakness Policy with my Crunch on Floatzel because I made a massive misplay, I still have a safety net. I'm able to come in. If rocks are up, I cannot. However, if he's Swords Dance, I will outspeed him and can kill him with a V-Create. That means Shadow Sneak, even at +2, will not kill me after rocks, so I can kill him with V-Create if he goes for Shadow Sneak. And that's basically where that is going to go. It's there as a safety net, and all else fails to Aegislash. But this also does a lot to the rest of his team, if Aegislash has been taken care of earlier on in the game. Since Mega Lopunny cannot 2-hit KO me with return, even if it is Adamant, I'm able to do about 83% to uninvested HP Mega Lopunny. I'm able to Will-O-Wisp Garchomp, because I feel like Garchomp is going to be his main switch into this. Since he knows that V-Create spam is pretty obvious, he could just run Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet and tank the V-Creates pretty easily, and then set up rocks on me, or do something of that nature. So I feel like that's a pretty safe bet for him. Slowking with 112 Adamant, Bolt Strike does 49% minimum, so a little bit of chip damage is all I need. It's a 68% chance to 2-hit KO it from full, so that still works out. Armaldo doesn't like V-Creates even though it is neutral. Electros doesn't like V-Creates even though it's neutral. Granbull can kind of sort of take it on pretty well, but it's meh. Empoleon does not like V-Creates because it is neutral. Gliscor can switch in on this thing pretty easily. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. However, I can U-turn on it. I can get some chip damage on it, or if I realize that he has Defog, I can Will-O-Wisp it. Simisear is a Simisear. He won't be taking hits. And Gothitelle, I can U-turn out on this. Now, I kind of want to take a second and just look back at my entire team about Gothitelle. He can't trap anything safely. Nothing at all. Floatzel 2-hit KOs it. I have Baton Pass on Sylveon. I have U-turn on Victini. He can trap a Ghost type. He doesn't want to trap Darkrai, and I have U-turn on Jirachi. Cannot trap anything on my team safely, so that is something that I achieved with building this team, if nothing else, and that is important to me. But Victini just kind of hurts his entire team, and once I figure out what a switch-in is, I can kind of sort of know what I can go for. I really think it's going to be Garchomp, though. I feel like his main switch into Scarf Victini is going to be Garchomp. Scarf Victini is just a very obvious bring this week, because if you look at his team, I need to outspeed Mega Lopunny. I can't kill it with a V-Create if I max attack Adamant, and I can run that, or I can't run that with this team to outspeed, like, if I want to speed tie with Scarf Shaman. However, Jolly max attack still Iyokous it. I'm pretty sure it does. I would have to run the calc, but like, if 112 does 83, pretty sure it would have a pretty good chance of Iyokouing it. Garchomp cannot touch it whatsoever. Aegislash, ow. Shaman, ow. Slowking, Bolt Strike, ow. Armaldo, Electros, Granbull, like, nothing on his team wants to switch into it. His only switch in is Garchomp. I fully expect it to come, and I fully expect it to be defensive with Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, just for my Victini. I've seen many people run defensive dragons with Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet to wear a Victini down, and I'm expecting this to be no different, so if I can Will-O-Wisp that on the switch in, that'd be really cool. Another thing this allows me to do is if I know that I can kind of sort of scare his team out, or he thinks he can kill me with a return from his Mega Lop, I can Will-O-Wisp that. Need to watch out for Facade, but I can Will-O-Wisp it. Ultimately, I think I came up with a pretty good team. I think I came up with a pretty creative team that he won't really expect, and I'm kind of sort of banking on that. But let me know what you guys think of the team down in the comment section below. This has been a very long team builder. I can feel it. 30 minutes maybe? 30 minutes? 25 minutes? That's not too bad. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. I want to give a massive shout out to my boy Crimson Seabat. I'm wearing his shirt. He is like my be great, do great. I absolutely love that saying. I'm a huge supporter of Crimson Seabat. I'll leave his links down there too, just because I'm an absolute I love Crimson. He's awesome. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the team down below. Also, make sure to leave a like, and also go check out my opponent. His links will be down in the description as well. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.